To our future scientists, I am Tolofelo and welcome to today's lesson on the respiratory system. Did you know that lungs can float on water? They are the only body organs that can float. Lungs have small air sacs used in the process of gases exchanged, and these air sacs allow the lungs to float. As we move on to today's lesson, at the end of the lesson, you will be expected to describe the respiratory system, explain the functions, list the components of the respiratory system, explain the function of each component of the respiratory system, describe the main processes, and lastly, identify and explain the health issues related to the respiratory system. In front of you, you have a concept map showing the main concepts that will be covered in today's lesson. We will provide a description, look at the function and the components of the system, which is the respiratory system, look at the components of the respiratory system and their functions, look at the main processes, and lastly, look at health issues related to the respiratory system. Now, before we start this lesson, you are expected to know or have some knowledge of or on the circulation of blood. You should know that the circulation of blood happens throughout the body. You should also know that the heart is an organ that receives deoxygenated blood from different parts of the body and transports the blood to the lungs. Now, as we can see with our diagram alongside, there is a figure of a human with the different blood vessels colored in blue and red. And by now we know that the blue blood vessels show the deoxygenated blood circulating throughout the body, and the oxygenated blood is shown by the red blood vessels. The oxygenated blood flows back into the heart and is pumped into different parts of the body. Here are a few questions that we can go through quickly to just check and see if we remember a few things on the circulation throughout the human body. Number 1, name the body system that transports gases in the blood to and from body cells. And the name of that system is the circulatory system. We know that it is a system that transports gases in the blood. So obviously it is the circulatory system. Question 2. Now, which chamber of the heart functions as the receiving chamber for pulmonic blood? Okay, we know about the 4 different kinds of chambers, the 2 atria and the 2 ventricles. And pulmonic, we also know that that refers to the lungs. So it's basically which chamber of the heart receives blood coming in from the lungs. And the answer to that would be the left atrium. Now, last question. Which chamber of the heart functions as the muscular pump for pulmonic circulation? So it's muscular pump for pulmonic circulation, and our answer there would be the right ventricle. Basically, this question is asking you which chamber of the heart, we know the 2 atria, the 2 ventricles, functions as a muscular pump. The blood is flowing from the heart and to the lungs, and this is what's going to allow the blood to circulate through the lungs and back into the heart. And there we know that the blood will be moving from the right ventricle into the lungs. In front of you, you also have new terminology. And these are words that we are going to come across in today's lesson. The words include alveoli, bronchi, diaphragm, diffusion, inhale, larynx, respiration, and trachea. Let us go for a quick ad break before we continue with the lesson.